Greetings and welcome to the RC Wall Vacuum channel. In today's video I'm back up here at the in the electronics lab. I got the servo tester set up again. And I'm going to be doing a little bit different test this time. I'm going to take and run a servo through the test and get the numbers off it with its what it gets with its pole length on the servo horn. And then I'm going to go back out, take that information, take this device here, which is going to attach to the bell crank on the Kraken, and then I'm going to take it out and put it in the grass, provided it ain't raining, and just give it some pull push test to see what kind of numbers the steering load is going to be on this thing. And then I'm going to take in, once I'm all said and done with that, I'll put everything back together and then head up to the track and see how it works. So the servo I got here today is this 100 kilogram per centimeter AGFRC, and I got it set up here right now with the same 1.2 inch servo horn. So we're going to see what kind of torque it comes up with at this point here, and then we'll see how that relates to what I find on the Kraken when you check the steering load on that. So like before, watch that count right there in front of the kg. That'll be our load. I have an amp clamp over there on the power supply. I am running off of technically a 30 amp supply, so it's got plenty of current. And one thing I like about these AGFRCs is they are a full rotational, which for RC don't mean much, but as a hobby servo for other uses, that's actually, to me, the benefit. Everything else I've dealt with so far is all 180 degrees. So anyhow, let's we'll give this one a quick test and see what kind of pull we get out of it. She's locked up. 23.26 is what I seen max there. I'm going to redo it so I can check out see what the current is. .5 amps. Now, I did a test earlier that I got 23.48 kilograms at 12.3 amps. All right, so that I'll give it one more shot, see what we get, and then we're going to switch over to the other load cell and go out to the shop. .75 there, so it's staying pretty consistent. And current-wise, also about 11.2 amps. Okay, so I'm back out here now in the shop. I got the other load cell assembly set up on the steering bell, and that's basically what it amounts to. So let me get the camera over here on the laptop, and we'll see if we can get some numbers off of this. I'm doing it right now on the stand, just to test it with no friction on the wheels, and then I'm going to take, due to weather, I'm going to stick inside the shop on the gravel part of the front of the shop and get some readings off of there. But for now, I just want to give a test here to see what it's like with no friction on the wheels. So like before, we're looking just to the left of the kg there. This is going to be have a negative and a positive value depending on which direction you're going, so we'll be watching for that one. Alright, this is going to be the wheels all the way to the left right now. Should zero that out. And now I'm going to pull it till they go to the right. Alright, that was 285 was the max kilogram to go to that way. So now we're full to the right, and coming back to the left is where I seem to have issues. So we're back to zero. Alright, now I'm going to start pushing it back to the left. That's 3.77. Let me repeat that. Yeah, there's I went up to 7.77. It stalls out and doesn't want to travel past that. So this is, once again, let me zero it back out. This will be the wheels all the way to the left, back to going to the right. There you go, nice and smooth. 2.87 was the max. So now I got this all the way over to the right. Zeroed out, and I'm going to start pushing back to try to get it to go to the left. 6.53. Try it again. 9 kilograms. Yeah, something seems to be camming over on that thing in there. So as you can see, it was taking upwards of 9 kilograms to pull it from the far right and then slide it back to there's like a cam effect, an over cam effect on that one side. I don't see that on the other side, but that's just on the stand. So that high-tech, I think that was pulling, or that was producing like 11 kilograms at that 1 1/8 servo horn length. So you can see that was just going to barely struggle to pull it out of that far right. Certainly when it got some grass or something like that, or some weight coming down onto it, it's definitely going to make an effect. So I'm going to grab all the stuff, I'm going to move it out there into the gravel part of the shop, set it down up there, and we'll see what happens when it's on some gravel. So I'm back out here now. I got it set in the gravel. I don't know if this is going to offer that much resistance versus being in the grass or not. It's probably a little more in the grass, but this will work for now. I am at one point during these tests, I'm going to put some weight down in the front, lean out a little bit, see how that affects it. So let me get the camera set over the laptop, we'll start pulling some tests. And I got the steering in the neutral position right now. Load cell's zeroed out. I'm just leaning on that load cell a little bit. You can see it changes. It's very sensitive. And oh, by the way, too, I did have to recalibrate, just so if anyone's wondering. This load cell, I think it's 1 millivolt per volt. The other servo one's 2 millivolts per volt. So it does have to get recalibrated. So that's all done. So this is from the center position. I'm not leaning on the vehicles. This is sitting here on the gravel on its own. This will be going from center to left. It's 21.36 is what it took to get that to move over. That makes a huge difference when it's sitting on this little bit of surface. No wonder these servos struggle. So this is from the left going back to the right. That was up to 18. Now it's all the way to the right. And we'll see if we come back to the left. This is where it does seem to have trouble on its own, even without the surface issues. That was 23.87. Ironically enough, sitting on the surface out here, it actually doesn't seem like it cams over and has the issue. So we're back to the left. Let's head it off to the right. So I had to take a little bit of a break here because I just had a little eyelet on there to pull with, and it takes so much strain to actually move this. I had to go through and rig up a T-handle on the load cell. So I'm back, I'm going to try it again, and once again I'm all the way to the left, and I'm going to start pulling it back to the right and see what it takes. I'm pushing 32 kilograms, and it still really hasn't even went all the way over to the right. Let me try it again. I'm just past center right now. I'm going to pull to the right. Yeah, I mean, there was 30 kilograms right there. No wonder these things struggle. I actually have a newfound respect for these servos to actually spin this thing as well as it does. So now I'm going to take and put it all the way back to the left and try pulling back to the right. And I'm going to just try to pull a little bit of weight off the front end as I'm pulling and see how much of a difference that makes. All right, I'm all the way to the left right now. Well, it definitely makes a big difference. That explains why when you're hitting the throttle, it steers a lot better, which doesn't surprise me none, but. So based on these numbers, I don't see where the 100 kilogram AGFRC is going to help me too much more. I mean, it'll probably improve a little bit, but it's still going to have steering issues, at least based on what I see here. And I'm going to play around now in the future with this thing with maybe changing maybe the length of the bell crank or something like that to try to get a little more leverage off of the bell crank to the servo arm. That might be a future project, but this was kind of a revealing project as far as what kind of loads the servos deal with and what kind of loads they can produce. I'm going to be doing more tests in the future. The Rovin with the OBR will probably be next, and then I'm just waiting for the engine gurus over there, SRE Customs, get me a 40cc, I believe it is, case read. It's going to go in LOSI 5T 2.0, and I'll be doing some tests on that. That vehicle's going to get revamped with its own roll cage and some anodized body panels and things like that. But that'll be a future video. Now that the weather's going to start changing here, I'm going to turn my attention to the anodizing, and I do have a upcoming electronics project that's got an extra bit of the cool factor to it. That'll be in the next week or so. So in the meantime, I'm going to go up and I'm going to put this thing back together, and yeah, in this video I'm going to do some test runs with 100 kilogram and see if I can get any difference on the ground and see how it performs. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. So I'm back up here on the track, or the wind whip prairie the way it is today. I do have the wind guard on the microphone. Hopefully that keeps the wind noise down. So my videographer is on another assignment today, so I'm just going to have to do a one position shoot. And I'm only looking to test out to see how the steering is. And steering is always the issue on the berms, so I'm going to concentrate on this here berm. I haven't done much on this one yet. I want to do some test runs on that. So hold on, stick around, get this thing fired up. Well, it still feels like shit. Yeah, especially for the left, it still feels like crap. So it still drives, it still steers like crap. In fact, this 100 kilogram I think is even worse than the 78 was with that steering horn, the homemade steering horn extension I put on there. It seemed like that worked a lot better. I don't know, I might put that assembly back in there. I think I just reserved until I can tear that front end apart and redo it. Just having a poor steering vehicle. I mean, it definitely is this vehicle. The Rovin steers good, the LOSI steers good. So I'm probably this winter I'm going to pull that front end apart and redo all the steering with some different components, put some aluminum alloys in there, and try even extending the bell crank out to give us some more leverage. But so in the meantime, hopefully some of the servo information I got you off the load tester has been somewhat a usefulness for you. So in the meantime, to the next video, thanks for watching.